I hold in my hand something slightly controversial. I'm finally going to be doing a preview video of football. We're that close, but this time it's college football, and it's the 12-team playoff. Okay, this new format makes it so if you win your conference, you are automatic top 4 team, and you're moving on to the quarterfinals, not the semi anymore. You notice that? But then the other 8 teams are composed of 7 Power 5 and 1 at-large bid, the best at-large team. And let's start off with that at number 12. My 12 seed going in to the next season is going to be the Liberty Flames. I think Liberty has lost 1 game in their last 2 seasons. They are incredibly consistent. They do not lose talent. They keep coming back to play at Liberty. There's something good there. I think it's built well, and I think that they will give whoever's number 5 a good run for their money, but I don't think they'll beat them. You'll know why later. Number 11, I have the Oregon Ducks. I think Dan Lennon over there is doing an incredible job, and I think Oregon now not having to deal with Washington being as good. Washington is not going to be as good. I'm telling you that right now. I liked Washington last year. They lost a ton of pieces. They're not going to be as good. Oregon's going to have to deal with the Big Ten, but I think Michigan's going to fall off a little bit. I do think Penn State's going to be pretty good. You're going to see that in a second, but not good enough to really throw off Oregon too much. Actually, we're going to change this on the fly. Oregon's my 10, Penn State's my 11. I do think that they probably match up in the regular season. I don't know. I didn't look. And I do think Oregon is better than Penn State. So Penn State at 11, Oregon at 10. Moving on, number 9 is Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss finally is going to make it in. Number 9, they're going to play a little bit even harder, but they're still not going to be good enough to make a top 4. You know what I mean? They're not going to be playing the SEC championship, but they are going to have one great win against either a Georgia, a Missouri, or an Alabama, which I think all 3 of those teams are incredible, or a Texas, a team like that. So number 9 is Ole Miss. Number 8 is Missouri. You guys know how high I am on number 8 and number 7. Number 7 is Arizona. 8, Missouri, I'm high on because of Luther Burden. I'm high on because they just play so freaking well on offense, and I think their defense has a great way to step up. They lost some players, but I know for a fact that they gained some guys in the transfer portal and just recruiting. So, yeah, Missouri at number 8. Number 7 is Arizona. I think Arizona's highly stepped on. I think their offensive chemistry is going to be crazy. Their defense has some work to do, so I think that's the only reason I don't have them winning their conference. We're going to get into who I think does, which might be an interesting take, but I don't think it is because they were in the Big 12 championship last year. All right, number 6, I have Alabama. Alabama's going to fall off, quote-unquote, but they're not going to fall all the way off. They're still Alabama. They're still going to have a great team. I don't think Milroe is the type of guy who's going to win them the SEC, though. I don't think that. I know he literally did that last year, so I'm kind of talking out of my ass, right? But, again, I think Georgia is going to get it this year. You're going to see that later. So number 5, Texas. I do think Bama, though, falls even behind Texas. Texas is going to have their number again. Texas overall is a great team and returns a ton of valuable pieces, even though they lose some wide receiver depth. At number 4 is Ohio State. I think the Big Ten champion is going to be the last one to get in. I'm not a big fan of Will Howard, but I am a respecter of how good Ohio State is, and I think they're still going to be very highly touted and good in every other position other than quarterback. But since they're going to be lesser in quarterback, I'll have them at number 4. Number 3, believe it or not, is Oklahoma State. Again, I think Oklahoma State's somehow going to edge out Arizona. They're going to be one of the most underrated teams in the nation all year long, and they might even be able to make it to the college football semifinal, maybe final. Who knows what Oklahoma State can do? Number 2 is Florida State. They're hungry, they're angry, they're mad. They return a ton of players. They lose like 2 to 3 great guys. They return everybody else. So, Florida State, no-brainer. And number 1 is Georgia. Georgia is not going to lose to Bama again like they did, and they might even beat them twice, depending on what happens throughout the season. So, yeah, Georgia's number 1. That doesn't mean I think they win the championship. If you had to ask me right now, actually, who do I have in the championship? This is going to sound absolutely crazy. I'm going to have Texas. I think Texas makes it out of their matchup, makes it all the way. I think they're going to have a really well put together team. I would have Texas and I would have Florida State. And I have right now, as it stands, Texas winning it all. I think yours finally puts it together, and Texas wins the championship. So that is my way too early college football playoff predictions and champion winner. Thank you guys for watching. Affleck Time out of here.